quick change of clothes but forgot to put on her sun cream, and the sun burned her skin. This is my second book, Destiny and the Troll. It was the book that I got interviewed on, and it's on ITV. And I wrote this book at the age of 6, and it's about where I saved one of my friends from the troll, this scary troll, and I saved my friend, and she was getting captured. So I saved her, and then I found out in the end that the troll is only my best friend. And the lesson of this story, the lesson behind the story, is to always be brave and courageous. And now I'll read an extract from this book. Once there was a girl named Destiny who loved spending time in nature with her family. One day, Destiny asked her mum, "Mum, can I go to the forest and into the deep dark woods?" "Please," but her mum said no. "Destiny, it's too dangerous to go into those woods all by yourself." Destiny was sad. She dropped her head down and then went downstairs. She went out of the door and onto the trampoline. Destiny put the trampoline by the door, then Destiny closed the door and went back upstairs to her room. And also, before I read the next page, this is only a fiction book, and Destiny jumped out of the window, so it's really dangerous to do that in real life. Back in her room, Destiny had the great idea to jump out of the window and run into the wood. She didn't want her mum to see her, but before she jumped out of the window, she decided to put the trampoline underneath her bedroom window. She would not get hurt on the way down. And the lesson behind that story is that you should always listen to your parents, and you should be brave and courageous as well. And this is my third book. This is my third book, The Snow Sisters. I wrote this book at the age of 7, and it's about these two sisters called Sheldon and Janiyah. They were really close, and they loved to bond together. And they lived in Greenland. And they were so used to the cold weather there. But they went on a holiday when their mum and dad went to an event, and they actually experienced. That was their first time experiencing hot weather because they've always been in the cold. And I will now read an extract from this book. And also, the key message of this book is to always try new things. Once upon a time, there were two sisters named Sheldon and Janiyah who lived with their parents in a small village on the beautiful island of Greenland. It's very cold there and snows most of the year, but this never stopped the sisters from spending time outdoors and making the most of the weather. Because Sheldon and Janiyah had lived there since they were born, it's all they ever known. They were used to the cold weather and loved spending time outdoors with their parents, playing in the snow and making snowballs. They never got tired of making snowballs and snowmen, skateboarding and skiing in the snow. During the summer holidays, they loved going skiing in the mountains with their parents. They loved skiing down the mountains and chatting with each other and drinking hot cocoa. This is my fourth book, The Naughty Destiny. It's also another book about me, and it's where I wanted to go to the beach because I've never been to the beach, even though that's fake. And my parents didn't let me go to the beach because the next day was a school day. But I still didn't listen to them because I wasn't understanding that I had to go to school the next day and I had to go to bed early. But instead, we had the whole night in the beach, and I missed a lot of schoolwork. And the lesson behind this story is to always listen to your parents because they know what's right for you. Once upon a time, there was a brave and mischievous girl named Destiny who lived with her two older siblings, Kelly and Jack, and her parents. One afternoon, Destiny was watching the television and saw people at the beach. The children were running around and having fun, so Destiny also wanted to go to the beach. She had never been to the beach before, and she thought that it was a great idea and the perfect time to go there with her siblings. Destiny said to her brother and sister, "Come on, let's go to the beach." But Kelly replied, how about we just stay home?" No, said Destiny. "I've been dreaming of going to the beach forever, and if we don't go now, it's going to be too late for us to go to the beach." Please, she pleaded to Jack and Kelly. Okay, I guess, they responded, and Destiny screamed in excitement. Yay! And she started to dance. This is my 5th book, Chicky in the Forest. I wrote this book at the age of 5, but it got published when I was around 7 or 8. And it's about one of my favourite teddies that I used to love when I was younger. And his name's called Chicky. And he also wanted to go out to the forest, but I told him no because I was his parent in the story. And I told him no. And he started to cry because he wanted to get his way. So then he snuck out to the forest, just like how Destiny snuck out from Destiny and the Troll, my 2nd book. And Chicky snuck out, and then he got captured, but I saved Chicky in the end. And Chicky learned that the key message in this book is that you should always listen to your parents again, because they always want to look out for you and they want the best from you and to stay safe. There once lived a cheerful boy named Chicky. Chicky lived in the forest with his family and loved playing out in nature. One sunny day, Chicky asked his mum if he could go out for an adventure in the forest, but his mum said no. He begged his mum, saying, "Please, Mum, I'll be safe and careful, I promise." But his mum still said no, so Chicky started to cry and wouldn't stop crying. He was hoping that he would eventually get his way by crying, but his mum wouldn't give in or change her mind. Later on, Chicky decided to sneak out of the house. Chicky left for the forest, singing and dancing to the sounds of the birds along the way. He was happy and proud of himself. He thought that he was a big and responsible boy who was brave enough to go out into the forest. And this is my 6th book, The Summer Holiday, and I wrote this book at the age of 8, and it's about this loving family of 5 that went out to the Ruby Gold Coast Hotel in Australia. They had so much fun there. They went swimming to the beach, and they just had so much fun on their journey. And also, the key message behind this book is to always spend family time, because those are big moments, and those are the moments that you'll always cherish in your heart. The Summer Holiday. There once was a loving family of 5 that was made up of the mom, dad, and 3 sisters. The oldest sister's name was Patricia, the middle sister's name was Anisha, and the youngest sister's name was Monica. One day, Patricia asked if they could go to the Ruby Gold Coast Hotel in Australia. Since their mum and dad wanted to do a nice trip for a few weeks, they decided to say yes. She screamed in excitement and raced upstairs to tell her 2 sisters. They screamed and all came for a hug. They were so happy and excited that their mum and dad had said yes, so they went to sleep early that night. The next day, they got up early and had some Weetabix for breakfast, even though it wasn't a school day. After breakfast, they all went upstairs to their rooms and packed their clothes. They were all set and ready for their summer holiday on the beach. Soon they went downstairs with their bags and boxes, eager to say goodbye to their house and drive to the airport. This is my 7th book, Destiny and the Moving Plant. It's also one of my favorite books. Some people think that the plant is a sweet corn or a pineapple because of the way I drew it, but I think that it's unique and I like the way that I drew it. And the lesson also behind the story is to always be brave and courageous, because Destiny stayed up and she fought the midnight monster with her friends. Destiny was now 9, and with each passing day, she seemed to grow taller and stronger, and a little more mischievous too. One quiet afternoon, as she searched for something to spark her curiosity, she decided that watching a bit of TV might just do the trick. Destiny had heard about the midnight monster and was so curious that she decided to stay up until midnight. She was thrilled and got way too excited, ready to fight the monster. The clock struck midnight. At first, the plant started swaying from side to side. She thought it was just a joke, but it was far from it. She wasn't foolish. She assumed it was just the wind blowing. However, she became scared when she realized the doors were shut. This is my 8th book, Ali in the Creepy Forest. It's about this girl called Ali. She goes into the woods and she fights ghosts because she was going into the woods and she got lost, but a firefly led her the way, and then she went back home. One day, a courageous little girl named Ali was exploring the woods. As they journeyed through the underbrush, she was wondering if they were safe. Were they? Dun, dun, dun. In the distance, she saw a sign reading, "Danger!" It had lines all over it. She was ducked under it and went through. She trudged through the long grass, her legs feeling weak. Suddenly she heard a screeching sound. What could it be? She had to keep going, but she couldn't turn back and found herself lost. And this is finally my last book, The New Shoe. I have 10 more books to be published, and this story is about this girl. There's not really a key message behind it, but all my books are about adventures mostly. And it's about this girl called Abby, and she finds these shoes that she really, really likes, and she wants to buy them, but the shop says that it's only children can't go to the shops without their parents. So Abby can't go on her own, and she didn't have money either. One day, Abby was on the computer searching for a new pair of shoes. She had her heart set on a particular brand called Hearts, and some searching, she finally found a beautiful pair of shoes with pink heart designs on them. She loved them instantly. They were soft on the inside and just the right size and fit for her feet. She was so impatient because she just saw the shoes that she wanted. As she raced downstairs to ask her mum to purchase it for her, she was full of excitement. With so much excitement in her voice, she exclaimed, "Mom, can you please buy me the new Heart shoes? I just found them on the computer." Her mum said, "Sorry, honey, it's too expensive to get a pair of those shoes. Maybe I can buy a different shoe for you." And those are all my books. And now read a bit of affirmations to you. I picked 3 of them out. Well, my first one is, I am unique. Everybody is unique and they shouldn't compare themselves to others because God made them differently and nobody is the same, because there's a goldfish story that I want to tell you about, and it's about this goldfish that could swim very good, and there was the monkey that could climb the tree very good, and everybody challenged the goldfish and the monkey to climb the tree, and the goldfish couldn't climb the tree, and everyone was laughing at the goldfish because it couldn't climb the tree. But then they challenged the monkey to swim and the goldfish to swim, and everyone was laughing at the monkey because the monkey couldn't swim and the goldfish could swim. And the moral behind that story is that we're all good at different things. I might be good at writing, somebody's good at singing, or someone's good at dancing. And just like your eyes can't smell and your nose can't hear, because you're different for a reason, and so are your body parts, so they can do different things. And then there's also I am marvelous, and we are all marvelous because we're all marvelous because we have a purpose to fulfill, and we are one of a kind and bold, and we should always stand out because we're different, and we know that God made us for a reason because we have the world. That's why we're on the world, so we can fulfill our greatest, we can fulfill our, yes, we can fulfill our purpose, and we are all one of a kind. And also, we are the best versions of ourselves, so we should push ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. Because when I started to write my book, my mum was inspiring me because I was only 5 years old, and most 5-year-olds, sometimes they can't do that, and I'm inspiring people to write a book at any age. And I inspired a 4-year-old to write a book. Now he's the youngest author in the world to write and publish his book, but I'm the one to write and publish multiple books. And yeah, that's why you're marvelous, because you have a purpose to fulfill. I also want to say my inspirational quotes because you should never give up, you should keep going in life. Because I've came across some people that sometimes they make fun of me. They say, no one cares about your books, but I care about my books, and it's my opinion because it's my books. And if they're trying to let you down, you should know that it's your opinion, not their opinion, because you're the one thriving in life, and you should follow your dreams because you were made on the world, so you should go out there and show everyone what you're made of. And you should also never give up on life, because there were some times that I was writing books, and sometimes I don't really find writing hard because I'm used to it, and I've wrote 9 more books, and I'm starting to write a chapter book that I think I might publish. And because I have, sometimes when I find it hard to write a book, when I close my eyes, I have a wide imagination, and I just imagine my front cover or imagine my characters' names, and I just close my eyes and remember the names or the book cover of my books. So that you should never give up, follow your dream. You're born to stand out, and you are always amazing. Any questions? Also, I have 10 more books to be published, as I said before. Some of them I said I'm writing as chapter books, and I'm being inspired. How many of you like to write books? How many of you like to read? Because I love to read. How many of you like to write?
That's good.
I love to write. I love to read. I love to write and I love to read. And that's how it caused me to be the youngest author in the world to write and publish multiple books. Because if I didn't read, then how am I supposed to write books? And some people in my class, they don't, when we're writing stories in English, they don't put their mind to it, or sometimes they just say things that they don't even need to say, like they're saying, this story is causing me stress. Children aren't even supposed to have stress. They're 10 years old and 11 years old, and you should use a wide imagination so you can write more and read more. And every night I go to bed, I have a bunch of books that I like to read. I have the full Dark Diaries collection. I read all of those books, and I'm looking for more collections, because anytime we go out, my dad or my mom, when we were going to Italy last year, W.H. Smith, it's a shop that I love to get my books from. We always pass it. I get a lot of my books, and that's where I buy books and read a lot of my books. I buy them from W.H. Smith. Does anyone know? Has anyone been there? I've been there before. And is there any questions?
Any questions, guys?
You still have 20 more minutes. Just
Yeah?
I was going to say, I'm really proud of you because, I love your books. You're just so creative.
Thank you.
she's unique too. She's unique. She can do the same.
Well, I love to write and I love to read, And when I was younger, my mum would always tell me stories. And some of the stories, they were like, tell me stories. I was brave enough to tell her some of my own stories. And most of those stories are now my books as well. Yes? It feels to write and publish multiple books. It feels good, and because I've inspired many lives. I've inspired people to write books. I've inspired people that never even used to like to read books. I've inspired them to write books as well, and I feel proud of myself as well. Yes?
Could you give us like a little hint of what your next book's going to be?
Well, I have more books. I don't normally say the front cover, but I can give a hint. It is, I'll say, there's a family and they go, no, that's one of the other ones I'm going to publish. The next one I'm going to publish is about one of my fans called Leo, and I'm going to publish a book about him.
Say what happened.
What?
Talk about it. What happened?
Oh, it's where he goes out on an adventure. He leaves his house. He's with his nan, Liz. He leaves his house and he goes on an adventure. But then he meets Destiny and Chicky. He meets them in lab coats there. He also has been led by someone random. So like this mystical place, and he doesn't know where he is. And then he transports himself back to his house. So that's kind of some of the story. Yeah? What?
Have you ever written a comic book?
I actually think, I don't know. I wrote a lot of different books when I was younger, but I don't know if that book has ever been published.
No, a comic.
Yeah, comic. Oh, comic, no, I don't think so. No. But I have tried some comics to write. Yeah? Maybe with some of the books about me. Maybe Destiny and the Moving Plant, my 7th book. Yeah? I want to write more than 20 books. Because I have 9 here and 10 more to be published, so that will make 19, and I want to write more than 19. Yeah?
When you're out in public just walking, do people ever notice you from writing books and stuff?
I actually don't know. I'm not sure, because maybe sooner, hopefully they will, but we have when I have an event, people notice me a lot because they go to the event, but I'm not sure if they've just noticed me in public.
The school we went to speak to.
Oh yeah, they have. Actually, St. Ambrose, yeah, a lot of them. In St. Ambrose, they know me as well. Yeah.
What would you say to a young person like yourself who, at this point, doesn't enjoy reading or doesn't really know how to get into reading? What message would you have for them?
I would tell them that reading is fun, and it's a sport for your eyes. Reading is really fun and it's enjoyable, and you should read because it will get you into a lot of it will get you into a good stage in life, because if you can't read, then you won't know how to do a lot of things in life. And I also have a big passion for reading and writing. Oh, yeah.
So I imagined so I was wondering again. So I imagined the book is about a girl, two girls called Maria, and the girl called Patricia, yeah, and they went to go a forest at midnight, and then they got followed in by a monster, and then
Maybe you should write the book if you feel like you want to write the book.
yeah, I thought that I have a new one for
Yeah, maybe you could write it and we can support you because we have a publishing company, Likambi Global Publishing.
Believe in yourself. Find your message.
We're going to have to finish.
Oh, yes.
How did you think of those ideas for the book covers?
For the book covers, like,
Yeah.
I just close my eyes and sometimes when I'm reading a book, I find something that's like eye-catching and I take a bit of it, I magpie it, and then maybe I use that in my book and then I can think of a cover for that, or sometimes I just close my eyes and imagine a book cover.